Hey everybody, Tony here with Nothing But Car Reviews, and today we're taking a look at a 2022 Tesla Model 3 long range, so let's get right into it. So this one here comes in Tesla's red, which I really like in person, and of course my favorite interior is going to be that white vegan leather. Still pretty hot when I get in the car, but anyways, this one has a dual motor setup with a 1-speed automatic transmission. And we have our signature Tesla LED taillights here. And there's our trunk space there. And a power lift gate, which I like. I had a 19 and I didn't get all this nice stuff on here. And of course here, charge port. And usually I like to use my phone to open this up, but if it reads it fast enough, you can just kind of come up to the car, open it up when you have the app installed. And then down here we have our 18-inch aluminum wheels with our aero caps there. Of course you can take that off, put a wheel cap on, they look pretty good. And coming around the front here, we have our LED headlamps on with our LED daytime running lights. And there are LED lights down here, which they're not on right now. But let's go ahead and pop that frunk. And there's your front space there. And of course you can hook up either a 240 or a 120 input there and charge your car using the port there. But next, let's go ahead and take a look from the driver's seat. So from the driver's seat, really adjustable seat you have here for the driver and front passenger. It's like 8-way with power lumbar, but pretty good headroom. Of course, that glass roof is very hot on my hand, but you can adjust the seat pretty far back, but when it's back, you really don't have any room in the back seat, which I'll show you here in a moment. But of course, with a minimalistic interior, all we really have blinkers here, toggle the windshield wipers here, and our shifter over here. So you hit the brake and then press down for drive, pull up for reverse, and then tap up for neutral from drive, and then you press that for park. But over here to the door panel here, we just have our one touch down windows, and then it's one touch up and down for the front driver and front passenger. And then we open the door here, and then the emergency, just pull up here. Storage down there, and a cup holder right here. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look from the front passenger seat. So please excuse the fan speed if you can hear that from the mic. It's just blazing hot out here. But we have, like I said, power front seats for the driver and front passenger. The front passenger does not have the power lumbar, but let's open up this glove box really quickly. And there's that there. And then I really like the trim. I have the white here and the black dash there. But let's hop in and take a look at this radio. Close that door. So the screen here, let me go back. We have our nav screen here. We could just type in a home. We can set a home, set a work, and then type where we want to go, which it's very intuitive using that. I really like it. And then from here, we have all of our kind of settings. So we have the controls here. We could turn the lights on, set them to auto, and you can see when I hit on, it'll show up that they're on right here. I really like that. But then we can mess with our drive controls. We can have our acceleration set to chill or standard, and then our steering mode, we have 3 modes for that. Our stopping mode, I always like to use the hold for the regenerative braking. That kind of shows our battery life for charge and all of that. Autopilot. And we can set all those settings there. Set all of our locks, lights, the display. There's just so much that you can configure here. And it even shows your upgrades and all that and what you can get. But let's go ahead and check out these dual zone climate controls. So I like for 22 they added a heated steering wheel, either in this year or year before, I believe. Might have been 20. But you can go ahead and toggle your heated seats for the back, and then you have that for the front as well. And then you can just toggle that there. 3-stage. And then they have an auto mode as well that's nice. And of course you can do fan speed there. And then you have your modes over here, so the dog's in the car, you can set that mode on. You can keep the fan speed going. If you're setting up a camp or whatever, or you're spending the night in the car, you can set that up. And then of course our energy, we can check out the consumption there based on prior usage. And then as we're driving, theater, we have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. And then we have our arcade as well. We can play solitaire. And then of course beach buggy racing is my favorite. They have a bunch of new games on here too. And then we have our backup camera, curbside view camera. But down here we have wireless charging pads here, and I like how they did that as opposed to the cords that you had to use. You had to like get an aftermarket wireless charging pad in the 19 that I had, so I'm glad they finally fixed that. And then down here, plenty of storage space in the center console here, kind of where the normal shifter would be. And then you can just slide that open and closed. 2 cup holders here. And then center console, cubby space there. And then whenever you start the car without having the app on, you're going to want to put your key, just place it right there. And then just take a quick look at this dual pane roof here. It's all glass, so no power there, but it's just a nice look and feel. Makes you feel like you're out in the open. But then here we have our visors here. And I always thought these were cheap, but I really like them because you can just pull this here, and then you have the really nice kind of vanity lights going on here. But before we go on the test drive, let's just go ahead and take a look at this rear seat room. So from the back seat here, actually not bad room. With it being such a small car, I'm actually kind of impressed because the seat in front of me is adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", and it's pretty much back as far as it'll go. And then being back here, I have about ½ an inch of headroom, so not bad. And of course, with the seat in the way, I can't really fit my legs behind the seat, but I can fit my feet just barely underneath the seat. So, like I said, it's impressive for what it is. And then our middle seat here folds down, cup holders there, pretty easy to open and shut. And then we have AC vents down here with 2 USB-C charging ports there. But with this being the minimalist interior, there's really not much more other than this here. I like that they fixed this. You used to just have to pull this down, but it's kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, but it smoothly comes down and then you can hang your clothes there. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and take this Model 3 long range out on the road for a quick test drive. So I just finished driving a Ram TRX, and though it doesn't sound as incredible as the TRX does, this Model 3 long range accelerates very well. No surprise there though. So I have the auto steer on now. So as you can see, it's the lane centering technology. Really good though. course, with most Teslas in general, most EVs just based on the platform, but with this Model 3, what's very familiar to me after having one is just a bouncy ride. It's not uncomfortable, it's just really bouncy. And that's the adaptive cruise stopping the vehicle, bringing it to a complete stop. And I'm gonna take that off and get in this lane here. But one thing that I really miss, and I have a Mach-E with, forgot what they call it. It's like a something 2.0. It's not Blue Cruise, but it's kind of the lane centering, the adaptive cruise. But you have to touch the steering wheel every so often. It really doesn't, it's probably a 90 on the scale of 0 to 100, but this would be probably about a 95, 96. The only issue I had with Tesla's auto steer was the car thought it was smarter than me, and a lot of the times it was not. But it's meant for people who, of course, don't pay attention while they're driving. But I really, really just love auto steer on these for the most part. And of course, one of the great things about having an EV is not having a super loud powertrain. The vehicle's very quiet. Even with the AC on almost full blast, that's really the loudest thing in this car. And it's still not intrusive at all. And that's why these sell so well. Let's give it a little pedal. And with the all-wheel drive, it just makes this car that much stickier to the ground. And even the rear-wheel drive ones, they still accelerate very well without feeling like you're gonna lose control, but it's just instant torque and you're just going. Even in this isn't even the performance, and don't even get me started on the Model S, Model X plaids, but these are just quick cars. It's just crazy how they hug the road. Even when I give it throttle, it's like driving a go-kart. And the only issue with Teslas now is everyone, especially with the gas prices soaring over, I don't know how much it is in your area, but here in Tennessee, they got to like $4.30 or something a gallon. A lot of people who normally wouldn't want an EV have been in the market for Teslas especially, but even the Kia EV6, the Mustang Mach-E's, even the plug-in hybrids, you can't find those, and people are charging anywhere from 5 to 20, 25 grand over sticker to get one, and you can't even be mad at them because people are going out there paying for them. So it's hard to get in the market now, and I'm sure this used one, I think stickers, or I shouldn't say sticker, I think it's on sale for 65 to 68 grand or something like that with 10,000 miles on it. And the person who bought it probably did not pay that much for it. And it's just nuts that that's what the used car market is coming to. Here in the next few months, though, hopefully well, I shouldn't say hopefully, but I plan on it having a downturn, so we'll see how that affects the economy, and let alone the prices themselves for used vehicles. And new vehicles for that matter. Because if gas gets back to normal, you'll probably see the demand for EVs dwindle at least a little bit. But Teslas, they're kind of a trophy in that sense. You know, it's cool to have one, blah, blah, blah. So the market for those probably won't dwindle. But your Mustang Mach-E's, especially all of these manufacturers that are losing their EV tax credit, might see somewhat of a dip in their market share. But I will tell you, putting your foot in these never gets old. But as we bring it to the end of this test drive, I'm just going to go over my final thoughts on this vehicle, and like I said, go over again how much you can get this Model 3 long range for. So I want to give a huge shout out to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this awesome Model 3 long range. I'll leave a link below to the vehicle in the description, as well as their full inventory as well. So final thoughts on this Model 3 long range: definitely a fun car, definitely a practical car. For the rear seat room, there's not much you can do about that except maybe upgrade to a Model Y or a Model X or Model S. But in terms of just range, overall usability, and being cheap in terms of keeping it running, definitely would recommend. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching the video. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you like what you saw today. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one.